This is Renee Romeo of ReneeRomeo.com. My project today is changing out these little containers for soap that a lot of you have along your sink area, where you can actually put hand soap or dish soap in them and have them held into little tiny containers. Well, really the problem with this is that when you go to refill, you can't climb underneath your sink every time to do it and pull the container out. Usually most of us pull out the actual hub and then we go ahead and we pour our soap in and we can't really tell where the soap is, so the soap goes all over the place. Well, I have a hack for you that's going to solve this problem permanently and easily, and it's only going to take just a few short minutes. The first thing you need to do is you're going to take off this little piece of tubing. So it pulls right out, and so you might need to maneuver it a little bit, but it comes out. So you're going to reuse this portion of the actual pumper, and you're going to purchase a 10-foot roll of polyethylene tubing in the 5/16 inch size. Now this is under $3, so this is a really inexpensive project for you too. So I'm just going to go ahead and just do a rough measure of the actual height of the countertop down to the floor, and that's the length that I'm going to cut. Now it cuts with a simple pair of scissors, just like that. So I have the pumper and I have the end of the tubing, and there's still a little bit of soap in here, so it's going to help maneuver this piece of tubing in place. And so it's a tight fit, but you're going to get it, so just keep pushing until you get it well seated. It's in there nice and tight, but what I'm doing now is I'm taking a paper towel and just wiping this off, because I'm going to be applying a little bit of 100% silicone. And you want this because you don't want this little area to leak. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this all along that joint. Now I'm taking the other end and I'm inserting it into that area where the pumper sets and fishing all the line all the way through. Just like that. Now I'm lucky enough to have a pumper for hand soap and a pumper for dish soap at my kitchen sink. And so when you buy in bulk, you get 2 of these little soft soap containers. And the great thing about it is that there's a cap on it that opens and there's a hole in the center. And so when you have 2, you could take one off and lo and behold, it fits right on top of this other container, and I can open this one up as well. And then I can take my tubing from the top and I can measure down and see exactly how long this needs to be to reach the bottom of the container and cut it. So this gets inserted directly into that hole. It doesn't need to be tight. What I'm using to secure the tubing to the cabinet itself is this little rope lighting fastener. You can use a pipe clamp if you'd like, but I had these laying around, and the great thing about it is it just slips right over the tubing, and then you can just use one wood screw to secure it to the cabinet, and make sure that your installation is nice and tight, and that way nothing's going to move around and it'll look nice and professional. So there's the soap container all in place. The polyethylene tubing is running from the top and I have it nicely secured in place. I'm taking another rope light fastener and I'm just going to put it right in front of this bottle of soap, because I'd like to secure the soap in place as well and make sure that doesn't move around. Now I'm using a giant twist tie. My twist tie is about 2 feet long, but you can purchase these at the store in a heavier duty version, and they're very, very pliable, and you can just insert it prior to putting this in place. Mine is really small, so I'm just going to go ahead, insert it, and move it around the bottle of soap so that it stays nice and tight to that corner. Give it a couple of twists, and that's secure. I'm doing the same thing to the other side, so I have some silicone here. It's all set to go, and I'm just going to fish it through all the way to the bottom. It's being inserted into the hole and going all the way to the bottom of that container, and then I'm just going to push it back into the corner and secure it in place. And that's all set. Let's see how long it takes to get this to come out. And there we go, 50 times. So the dish soap comes out great, and the hand soap comes out great. I've eliminated the need for these little tiny soap containers. I've increased my capacity for soap. I've made it easier to refill by, instead of going above the sink to refill it, going below the sink and just replacing those containers as they drain out. And one last tip. If you find that with your pump system that you have the 5/16 inch polyethylene tubing isn't working and it's a little too small, go ahead, glue it in place with Gorilla Glue, and then take your silicone after it's dried and go ahead and put this all around the perimeter. That will keep everything nice and secure and in place so that things won't go all over the place. So we've managed to improve on the system and actually have more soap on demand and make it nice and easy and clean to actually replace the soap. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this project. I hope that this is going to be a nice time saver for you, and I hope you actually wind up doing this. It really only took me about 15 minutes to get both of these done, so you should expect the same time results for you. Thank you so much for watching. This is Renee Romeo of ReneeRomeo.com.